Today at 8:30 a.m., I was awoken to loud dogs barking just to hear the good old FedEx truck outside. And when it comes at a Saturday that early, generally it means a Kickstarter game has landed. So today, Migration Mars. I'm going to do a box opening on this, just what's in there, the components, and then eventually I'm going to do some gameplay here in the next couple of weeks. Just to give you an idea, my first impression when opening it was a very small box. As you can see, my hands can cover it. This is a standard size playing card, so you can see it's a relatively small box. So a lot of the games are bigger boxes these days, so I didn't know what to think of that right away. I didn't realize it was a Kickstarter game by the size of the box, but I did see Fulfillment Center, and well, let's see what's in there. Open it up. Looks like we got a guide on top for gameplay. Survival guide. Wow, this is the rules by the looks of it. And I haven't dove into the rules on this game yet, so I mean, this does not look bad at all for 14 pages and relatively easy text by the looks of it. So definitely like the way that looks. We have On Mars, which is a very complex version of a Mars game. One of the things that drew me to this game was the fact that, one, it's a Mars game. I love that, the Mars genre of games. And second is I'm in Minnesota. This is a Minnesota company, so I like to support the local companies. Next we have the board. So let's take a look at the size. So as far as the size goes, I mean, this is pretty small. I would say it's about the half size of the On Mars board. Tiles look a lot smaller on here. I think there's definitely pros and cons to having a smaller board. One is just some of these games take up so much table size, they're hard to even play on a standard table. So I definitely see pros and cons, just the fact that smaller, easier setup, but pieces are tiny on here. So we'll see how that is when we actually play the game. Love the way the box is organized so far. For putting pieces back, this is just one large, no stacking here. All right. Next we have a component of plastic components. They're very, they're lightweight plastic. Nothing crazy special, nothing horrible about them. Do they stack? It does not look like they stack. If I put them on the table, actually they sit quite well with the sheen of the board. I mean, it's not horrible. From your standard bumps, we all know we bump the table occasionally while playing. This reminds me, I'm trying to think what this reminds me of, these plastic, like older toys. I mean, it's a standard thin grade plastic. Like I said, it's not horrible, but I mean, you can see through it, so it's super thin plastic on those. Doesn't seem too bad. These caught my eye, so I'm going to open these next. They're cardboard, but they also have foiling on them, which is cool. So a lot of sheen and shine on these. They are cardboard. And I did see with the game Crisis Protocol, people using I think it's Mod Podge, to dip cardboard pieces like this to make them last for a super long time. So that might be something you can do with these. Pretty thick cardboard, but I do see if you don't do something to these will delaminate over time by the looks of it, which is pretty typical with any type of thick cardboard like that. And those must be the Meteors. Looks like these are just, it looks like Mars terrain pieces. Looks about the same thickness as the other ones. Once again, they may delaminate over time, but people have found solutions to that. some more Mars pieces. These remind me of some of the ones from the game On Mars. Yep, they will all connect as you go through. Like I said, I haven't read the rules on it, but yeah, make passageways, I imagine, that sort of thing, and then upgrade into complex buildings as you go is what my guess would be for gameplay. Next, we have some dice. Love the 6-sided dice, pretty big. And then a 12 die. Nothing crazy. They look fine. A little light. Once again, components are fine. Nothing that, you know, when you open them up, you're like, this is amazing the way it feels, and nothing too horrible. This, just seeing a little bit of slight delamination in those kind of scares me a little bit. That have to take a little bit of extra care when using them. Next, looks like we have character cards. Very thick cardboard once again. Yeah, it does definitely worries me for delamination on the cardboard of these. But I do like the art on them. Yellow, green, red, blue. Very distinct, very different, very cool. Looks like we got player boards. So for each one of the colors, and this, I do like these in a lot of games that I play, just to have your, even in the On Mars games I play, it's like a central control station. This looks to have the same setup. This kind of reminds me of Scythe a little bit, which this is a worker placement style game, so that makes sense, where you do have different type, so these plastic pieces relate to pieces on your player board, whereas this is a hospital. So I imagine you'd have so many of each of these as you're going through the game and try to build them out. Supply stop. It's got how you do those instructions on these player boards, and then there's one for each player. So they're cool. Once again, very thick cardboard, which always worries me a little bit, to be honest. Just because they seem to delaminate more than if you just go with like a thick cardstock of paper. Next we have 2 sets of player cards, which is it for in the box. So I mean the components for the game, it's not a ton. Like I said, it's a relatively small box. You can see pretty much everything on screen right now that came in the box. With the 2 sets of player cards. So I am interested to play. I'm not going to open up all the cards. I'll do a video of gameplay, like I said, in the next week or two, of going through it and how it plays. And that's always the most important. I do like the fancy shiny components sometimes, especially with Kickstarter. You kind of expect a little bit fancier when you get them off Kickstarter. Especially with all the waiting that we've had to do at no fault of manufacturers, just with COVID and Chinese New Year and all the shops not running at full capacity. All these games are taking longer. I'm a little disappointed in these. They're very flimsy. They don't have any weight to them. Other than that, it's a nice small game. So if you have a small table, it definitely will work for you. If you like huge expansive games that take up a table or have a game table like I do, and you want this huge expansive thing, this will not take up that much room. So this will not be that huge expansive table. So I'm excited to play this one. Like I said, I have On Mars right now. I ordered the Terraforming Mars big box Kickstart that comes with all the printed tile or molded plastic tile. So I do like Mars style games. I do like worker placement style games. I am excited to play this. Like I said, this is a company out of Minnesota. So that was, at least it said it was on the Kickstarter. That was one of the reasons I backed it. And I love Mars games. So we'll see how it plays. Watch for the video in the upcoming week or two. Thanks for watching.